Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 books in the entire year, here it comes the book number 114. The name of the book that we have today is A Curious Mind, written by Brian Grazer. Let us see the small information about the Brian Grazer. Who is he? Brian Grazer is an American film and television producer. He's a TV, like a movie producer, and he founded Imagine in Entertainment in 1986 with Ron Howard. The films they produced have grossed over $15 billion. Grazer was personally nominated for 4 Academy Awards for Splash, Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind, and Frost or Nixon. These are the movies the Grazer has produced, and he earned about $15 billion from there. So, sir, that film producer written the book A Curious Mind. Let us see the target audience of this book. Those who are 16-year teenagers who has his own YouTube show, but sometimes run out of new ideas. Nowadays, everyone is using AI tools, so they are not run of new ideas. The 47-year wife who feels like her marriage is stuck in a rut, and anyone who loves watching great movies. For them, this book will be the useful book. Let us see the synopsis. A Curious Mind is an homage to the power of asking questions, showing you how being curious can change your entire life. From the way you do business to how you interact with your loved ones or even shape your country. Let me repeat the synopsis. This book is the homage to the power of asking questions, showing you how being curious can change your entire life. From the way you do business to how you interact with your loved ones or even shape your country. Let us listen from the Brian Grazer himself. Life isn't about finding the answers. It's all about asking the questions. Life is not about finding the answers. It's all about asking the questions. When I say Brian Grazer, does that ring a bell? It doesn't for me at first, I have to admit. Maybe the title of the book, this book reminds you of something. A Curious Mind. No, A Beautiful Mind. Maybe, the movie about the brilliance of economics Nobel Prize winner John Nash, who invented the field of game theory but suffered from severe schizophrenia. The one that won the Academy Award for Best Picture and the 3 others. Yep, Brian Grazer produced that. He also produced movies like 8 Mile, Frost or Nixon, Apollo 13, the world famous TV shows 24. This is the 24 is the TV show name, starring Kiefer Sutherland as Jack Bauer. A Curious Mind is a wonderful angle at business and life, if you ask me. It's predicated on fun, being open-minded, and preserving your sense of childhood curiosity. Seems to me like a much more sustainable approach than work is hard, life is hard, you got to be tough. Never stop answering questions. Great book. In 2015, Brian asked himself what is the root of his success was. He determined that the answer was curiosity. To share how it's shaped his life in different ways he had never imagined and how it can potentially transform yours as well. He co-wrote A Curious Mind with a journalist, Charles Fishman. So let us see the top 3 lessons from this book, A Curious Mind. Here are the 3 lessons about curiosity that will hopefully make you want to ask a lot more questions. In business, Whoever is the most curious wins. Everyone loves being asked questions, and that includes the people closest to you. Let me repeat this statement. Everyone loves being asked questions, and that includes the people closest to you. And the most important lesson is sometimes you got to know when to stop asking, when to start doing. Would you like to take a peek into the mind that made a beautiful mind? Today is your lucky day. Let us see each and every lesson in detail. Lesson number 1. A rule of business is that whoever is the most curious, they wins. Most people will tell you that business is hard, that it is competitive, and that you have to get your elbows out, toughen up, and try to overtake whoever is in front of you. But that is not true. You can take a much more cooperative approach, one that is based on collaboration instead of competition, and still win. So this is what happening. So instead of cooperative approach, currently collaboration approach is going on with all the influencers. In fact, Brian Grazer would probably say, whoever's the most curious wins. Curiosity is not only fosters cooperation, but also connection. If you are genuinely curious about your employees' lives, you will ask them questions accordingly. This way, Brian leads mostly by asking questions instead of giving orders. Vice versa, his employees are supposed to ask him many questions also. It is not about only asking questions. He provides the room for the employees to ask him many questions. When you are curious, people cannot explain and reflect on their work themselves. This kind of meaningful conversation leads to bigger and better breakthroughs than a mere do this now approach. The same holds true for your customers. Who would you rather buy a car from? Who would you buy a car from? Means, who would you rather buy a car from? Let me give me options. The dealer who just touts his latest offers and how great the cars are, or option B, someone who asks you why you want to buy a car, what you need it for, where you will go with it, and what you are looking for. Option A is all about who teaches about latest offers and how great cars are. So the option A is the dealers who showcase the cars offers. Option B is someone who asks about why do you want car, what you need it for, where you want to go for, what you are looking for. If you go through A and if you go through B, there are different chances. But which option do you choose? Generally, we go for option B. The only way to satisfy your customer is to find out exactly what they want in each case and then serve them the best way you can. And you can't do that without being curious, right? So let me ask this question to you also. Who would you rather buy a car from? Option A or option B? Type your option in the chat box. Great. Let us see the lesson number 2. Everyone loves being asked and answering questions, including your loved ones as so. Means in the relationships also, it is all about being asked and answering questions. I recently thought about how much I know about my parents' childhoods. As it turns out, it's not too much. Even me, I don't know much about my parents' childhood, how they have gone through in their childhood. Sure, I know where they went to school and a couple big milestones, but teenage life is long. There is so much I still have to ask them. Think about someone you have known most or all of your life. How much do you really know about them? Chances are There is still tons left to discover. By showing interest, you can improve your relationships even with the best of your friends and loved ones. Most couples eventually fall into a rut. Hey, how was your day? Good, good. And the 10 TV takes over the control. Saving a deteriorating relationships from falling apart can be as simple as remembering one specific thing your partner told you and then asking them about it. Hey, how would the presentation go today? Were you nervous? Shows you remember and are curious about how their story evolves. So this is the two examples the author has given. Hey, how was your day? Then the output response is good, good, fine. It's okay. Like this responses will come from the your partner. When you ask like this, hey, how did the presentation go today? Were you nervous at the time? Then it seems that you are curious to know about more and more information. Similarly, questions make you much better at connecting with people. What questions at what time you put for makes you much better to connect with people. Everyone loves being asked questions and to talk about themselves. So instead of rambling about yourself at the next party, start asking new people all about their story. Where did you grow up? What do you do for a living? How do you like it? What do you love to do? All these type of questions you can ask new people whenever you meet in the parties or events. As in business, so in life, curiosity connects the people. Let me repeat the powerful statement. Curiosity connects the people. So let us move on to the lesson number 3. When it's time to stop asking and start doing, keep a seal on your curiosity. Being curious is a great mode to be in 90% of the time, but sometimes it's the time to flip the switch and become anti-curious for a while. Let us take an example. After Brian Grazer has the idea for the TV show 24, from one of his many curiosity conversations, the TV show is all about weekly meetings with the professionals from all kinds of fields. He had to switch and commit to now bringing the show to life. Similarly, his expertise in the film industry now tells him when he is found a movie that deserves to be made, even if it's not going to be a mass hit. Frost or Nixon and Rush are the great examples of such movies. They were well written, and the stories of the post Watergate, Nixon interviews, and Niki Lauda and James Hunt's Formula One rivalry in the 1970s deserve to be told. So Brian went ahead and made them, ignoring what people told him or what critics gave the ratings. He had that he had to tone down his curiosity for a while, but in the end, both movies got a lot of critical acclaim in spite of not being commercial successes. People throw a lot of ideas at me. Even people throw a lot of ideas to you. Features from this book, 4-minute books, products to create, post to write. In our case, like doing summaries and setting a target of 200 book summaries and writing a blog, making emails, writing lots of posts, videos, creating videos. I'm always open to hearing them, but often I have to note them down and return to them later so I can focus on writing the summaries, which are my commitment for the year, and making 200 book summaries in the year. The only way to create something of value is to ignore new ideas every now and then. It's up to you when that should be or when that is. The only way to create something of value is to ignore new ideas every now and then. It's up to you when to do that. Okay. Let me repeat the top 3 lessons again. In business, whoever is the most curious wins. Everyone loves being asked questions, and that includes the people closest to you. He has given an example how the way of asking questions and how the way of asking questions curiously. Sometimes you got to know when to stop asking and start doing. This is all about the book that we are reading, A Curious Mind, from a movie producer, Brian Grazer, and the journalist. See you in another book, another day. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing. Share your lessons in